there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today in the Pick Me News edition, we need to discuss something that came out a few days ago involving Miracle Watts trying to give an ultimatum to actor Tyler LEPLEY, and we are going to listen to this tomfoolery, and then we are going to react, you guys.
Of course. I better see myself getting married soon. I have a question. Do y'all think it's disrespectful for a man not to marry a woman after being with her for a certain amount of years if they both agree that, you know, marriage is something that they want? I do. And yeah, we're coming up on that time, but so you better get it together.
So, just a little bit of context. Miracle Watts and Tyler LEPLEY, I believe they're coming up on 3 years together. So just a little backstory for those of you guys who do not know. They met while filming the TV show P-Valley. Miracle Watts was testing, I guess, to be his love interest. And they started some sort of entanglement of sorts, right? But what they're leaving out is Tyler had a long-term fiance, had a 10-year relationship with his ex-fiance that he had 2 kids by, and there seems to be some timeline issues of when they officially broke up for good versus when he started messing with Miracle Watts, you guys. And then early into this entanglement that turned into a relationship of sorts, Miracle Watts got pregnant, right? She got pregnant, they have the baby, she's playing house, she's doing all the wifely things and all of this, and now all of a sudden is wanting to be married now, is wanting to be Tyler LEPLEY's wife. And my thing is this, a couple of things, right? Number one, why should Tyler marry you and he is getting everything that he needs right now for free? And he's marriage-minded, although he didn't marry his ex-fiance that he was with for 10 years. So what makes you think that he's going to marry you? And this notion these people think by doing a public declaration, a public ultimatum for their significant other is going to force them to rush down the aisle, it is a complete and utter mistake. 2 things are either going to happen. Either Tyler's going to get you a shut-up ring so you can stop this tomfoolery, or there's going to be a breakup coming soon. And all you have done at this point, you have opened the floodgates for all of the girls, all of the women who want to hook up with Tyler to just flood his DMs right now, because you're telling the world that there's trouble in paradise. You're telling the world that in private, you have been having the same argument with Tyler, and Tyler's not budging. Here's the thing. From my standpoint, I feel like a man's going to know within 6 months to a year on whether or not he wants to marry you, right? And the reason I say max year is he's seeing you through all 4 seasons, right? Of, you know, stuff that you've gone through in your day-to-day life and personal life and all the things, right? So max a year, a man is going to know. You guys are coming up on 3 years. There's no reason that there should be 3, 4, or 5 years and there's no ring in sight, there's no wedding in sight, unless you guys are both broke, struggling college students, you guys. That should be the only reason that the relationship is, you know, there's no engagement or what have you past the 1 or 2 year mark, right? Is if you guys are both broke college students trying to get your degree. Other than that, there should be no excuse. And the other reason that people, you know, want to drag out these relationships and these situationships is because one of the people in the relationship, most of the time the men, is looking for something better, you guys, is hanging out for something better before they decide they really want to commit to you. And it's clear with Tyler's history of entangling with others that he does not see you as wife material, Miracle. But here's the thing as well. Even if you guys didn't have a kid, he still wouldn't see you as wife material, because this started off as lust. This started off as a physical situationship. This started off based off of sex. So nonetheless, he was never looking at you as a wife. This was an entanglement. This was a physical relationship that turned serious in the event that you got pregnant, right? So there's a responsibility to that component. However, outside of that, Tyler's not obligated to marry you because of it. Tyler never seemed to me like the marrying type. He seems very much the playboy to me. He seems very much he wants to get to a certain point in his acting career to, you know, wine and dine the A-list black female celebrities, as far as I'm concerned, right? But nonetheless, this was, you know, an easy mark. He came in as quote-unquote the big brother to show you what it's like in the industry, and you got caught up. You got caught up, you fell for the booby trap, and now you want something to make of this. You want something that is worth all of the years that you've put in at this point. You want some sort of a commitment now that the honeymoon phase is over. Now that reality has set in and the mundane day-to-day of raising a kid and, you know, trying to manage a career and trying to manage all this stuff that you're doing on social media and everything else and the like, now it is becoming boring. Now it's becoming stale. Now it's becoming stagnant. And you need something to solidify this thing with Tyler, and Tyler could care less as far as I'm concerned. Because why is it 3 years and there's no discussion of marriage and there's no plans for marriage and there's not even an engagement ring, right? All this tells me is you are wasting your time, and you're going to continue to waste your time. And also, by the way, you're not going to go anywhere as well. That's the other piece, right? You're not going to go anywhere even if Tyler doesn't propose to you. But you wanted to do this attention-seeking thing in hopes that this was going to publicly, you know, force his hand and force him to make an honest woman out of you. And that's not the case here. Tyler's going to continue to do him. And either you're going to stick around because you like him, and you like the lifestyle that he has or whatever, or you're going to cut your losses, or he's going to cut his losses and say, you know what, I don't have to deal with this. I've got girls that are in my DMs that will deal with me for less, right? That isn't pressuring me to marry them and all of these things. So nonetheless, now all of a sudden, you think that this should go somewhere, this should go the distance, this should lead to a commitment, but you've given him everything that he needs, that he doesn't need to make you a wife. You're playing house with him. You're, you know, trying to play stepmom, even though you're not married to him, but you're trying to play stepmom to his other kids. You're doing all this stuff. Why should he marry you? Why? And this is the thing too. People have romanticized marriage so much. It's just like the big glamorous wedding and how cute your dress and your hair and your makeup and stuff's going to be, how expensive and how nice your reception's going to be. But nobody ever talks about the marriage itself and what it takes to actually make the marriage work, and how there is a lot that goes into marriage, whether you have children or not. And you guys, both parties have to be at it every single day, working to make sure this is going to last a lifetime. You can't just, you know, say you're married to somebody and just carry on like it's nothing, like it's no big deal. Like you can just flash your ring around on the gram. No. It is a lot more work than that, you guys. It's a lot more to it than that. And unfortunately, people romanticize the wedding and romanticize having the ring and do not look at the reality of what it takes to make a marriage work. So nonetheless, this relationship is on borrowed time as far as I'm concerned. It is on borrowed time because here's the thing. Even if Tyler does propose to you, even if you guys do get married, he is going to feel that he did it out of, you know, being pressure and out of reluctance. So therefore, he is going to treat you accordingly. He is not going to treat you, you know, with any type of respect. Because he's going to be pissed at you that you put this out to the public, you put this out to the world, trying to pressure him to marry you when he didn't want to marry you to begin with. But you thought because you snagged him and you had a baby by him and he left his ex-fiance or whatever, or however that timeline happened, and ended up with you, that this is somehow, you know, a flex. Even though the ex-fiance came out a couple of years ago and basically said that it was Tyler's parents that is contributing financially to their kids and doing all of the things that Tyler's supposed to be doing while he's jet setting off with you. And you think this is the prize. You think that you've won the prize. And this man is telling you and showing you that if he wanted to marry you, he would have. That if the moment you guys got pregnant and it got real, he would have hurried up and married you if he really thought things were going to get serious between the two of you. But instead, he chose not to. So you have your answer on what the future of this entanglement is going to be. And that is, you're going to stay around continuing to be, you know, the live-in girlfriend that's going to do all of the things a wife does and not have the ring, not have the marriage license and all the things, or you're going to get a shut-up ring and he's going to delay another 3 years before even, you know, mentioning anything about a wedding or wedding planning and all these things, and you're still going to be doing these same tired videos begging this man to marry you, or ultimately you guys are going to be breaking up pretty soon. Because he's going to be sick of this conversation. He's going to be sick of you asking constantly, when are we going to get married? When are you going to propose to me? When we have a family? When is this going to be official? Even though he just spent 10 years with his last family and didn't marry that woman. So how do you think that you are going to be the one that he marries? Can you make it make sense? Your relationship, situationship, entanglement started off, like I said, it was based off of physical attraction. It was based off of smashing. It was based off of hooking up. It was based off of friends with benefits that turned into more when you got pregnant. But Tyler never told you, hey, I'm going to wife you. I'm going to make an honest woman out of you. We're going to get married and all these things. And here you are 3 years later, now complaining to the public that he better marry you or else. Are you going to go somewhere? Or what? Or are you just going to stick around until he finally does it? It's giving insecure. And it's giving because you know what you guys did while he still was involved with his ex-fiance. So you feel insecure and you need this ring. You need this marriage to feel like the inappropriate timeline that you guys had was worth it. And when the foundation is not, you know, rock solid to begin with, and there's timeline issues in the new situationship, in the new relationship, it is going to end the same way that it started, and that is going to end with some girl that is in his DMs that is going to expose him. Or he's going to level up with another black female actress and leave you out in the dust. One of those things is on par to happen because you basically said, you've basically allowed the situation. You didn't care what version of events he told you about him and his ex-fiance. His ex-fiance had the receipts to say, hey, there was some cheating going on, and you still carried on like this man was the prize, that this man was, you know, the big ticket and all these things, and quickly had his baby. And now 3 years later, like I said, the honeymoon is no more. The honeymoon phase of the relationship, situationship is no more. You are doing the mundane things of being a parent and living with this man. No ring in sight, no engagement in sight, no marriage license in sight. Doing all of these things for free, cooking, cleaning, having sex with him, and all of these things for free. So why does he need to marry you, Miracle? Why? Like literally why? And publicly pressuring him isn't going to change the narrative. Like I said, either a few things are going to happen. He's either going to give you a shut-up ring and delay another few years, or you guys are going to split up, or he's going to marry you out of reluctance, so it's going to be resentment. He's going to treat you even worse because he's going to be pissed at you that you put your business and your arguments that you guys are having behind the scenes out on Front Street to the world to publicly force him to marry you and propose to you. So he's going to take it out on you if he does marry you, that you put him through this predicament. So ultimately, was all of this worth it? If a man is showing you and telling you that, you know, he's the marrying type, but hasn't specifically told you or showed you that he wants to actually marry you, you have your answer. You have the answer. And the fact that he already proposed to his ex-fiance and still has not proposed to you should tell you he does not view you in that same regard. So nonetheless, you need to just accept the situation for what it is or move on. But now, Tyler, since you've basically let the groupies know that there's trouble in paradise, now all of a sudden they're going to be a lot more aggressive of trying to get at Tyler because you've shown your hand. You've shown your hand to the public that you're insecure about this relationship because there's zero commitment. And you feel like you need something to show for this because of the messy timeline of this whole thing. So nonetheless, good luck. But I don't see this ending well for either party, whether you end up married or not, because you've already put out there to the world that there's trouble in paradise. So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.